So the Dune Part 2 trailer just launched a little while ago, and oh, it's good. It's so good. I think that as good as the first film was that they did, I think the second film is going to be even better. I'm going to butcher his name, but is it Villeneuve? Villeneuve? I always forget how to pronounce it. Put together a really amazing part one. I think that out of all of the versions of Dune that I've seen over the years, it's the most accurate. They didn't really change that much, and he got the look and the feel of it right with just casting, with the writing, the music, everything is spot on. And I've enjoyed all of the versions of Dune that have come out over the years. Like, I think the David Lynch version of the early 80s is sort of infamous for being so insanely not true to the books, and also all the disassociation between Lynch and the production company after the fact because he didn't get say on the final cut, and there was all these disagreements and things that went into the film and everything else. I still think it's worth watching, if only for the Chris knife fight with Sting at the end of that film. And Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck, just um, the Sci-Fi Channel's version in the early 2000s was also very well done. Obviously a lower budget, but it was very true to the books. And now we have this version, and part one was phenomenal. I've seen it twice, once by myself and then once with Chris. She's not as big of she's never read the book, so she's not a huge Dune person, but she has watched the Sci-Fi Channel version with me once and enjoyed it, and then really enjoyed the first film. So she's also waiting for this second one, but she's not ingrained in it like I am. And there's a lot going on with part two that is, I think that part one was setting things up, and he did a very good job of that. But part two is bringing that all to fruition, and I think part two is the area where they could completely go off the reservation if they wanted to, in terms of adapting their own stuff here. And I don't know how true they're going to stay to the book, but the core of what they've promoted so far is the epic war that's coming up between the Fremen and the Harkonnens and the Emperor, and sort of Paul Atreides coming in and taking his role as well. Well, no spoilers here, but the role that his mother wants him to have, and the role that the Bene Gesserits have been promoting for all these thousands of years with the role of the Kwisatz Haderach. So there's a lot going on in this film, and like I said, they could stay very true to the book, but they could also completely do whatever they want here. There's a really good video I'm going to put out soon from Brandon Sanderson. We're going to be talking about this. He's actually talking about when it comes to book to film adaptations, he actually prefers the film adaptations that take things and rearrange them and do them differently than the book, because the way things are done in a book is completely different, and you cannot translate those directly to the screen, because here you need to have a visual representation of things, not the verbal translation or the audible version, or the written version, where you have a lot more time to do things, and you can write things into the prose and everything else. So it's very interesting, that take on things. So the trailer, I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get dinged with a copyright strike. It's unfortunate. I don't want to deal with it. So we're just going to show some stills from it and kind of talk about it through. But this trailer, if you haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna drop a link to it down below. It is exceptionally well done. If this trailer is anything, in terms of what the second part of this film is gonna be, it's gonna be freaking epic. So we start off with, there's the love story between these two characters, which is gonna be interesting. But there's also this component, which is his mother, who has become this tattooed um, prophetess out in the middle of the desert. And there's stuff going on here in terms of prophecy and the genealogy and the planning that the Bene Gesserits have been up to for thousands of years. And my interpretation of things, and everybody's got a different take on the way this plays out. But Paul's mother is very much in a situation of um, manipulating for the purpose. She's got lots of motives, but really trying to force this thing to be real, and really embracing that role, even though Paul himself doesn't necessarily believe in it, um, at least not in the beginning. And it's it's kind of twisted what she does and how she embraces it. But they have, by this point in the second part of the film, fully embrace the Fremen way of life, and they are fully immersed in that culture. And this is their army. This is how they're going to fight back. And there's a lot that goes on here with the. I'm gonna use a word here that may get me pinged on YouTube, but there's a lot going on here with the jihad that they end up putting in place, and it's a crazy thing. Now we've got Florence coming in. She's gonna eat this roll up and spit it out. I cannot wait to see what she brings to the table. But also, we get our first look at. I'm going to scroll forward here. Um, our first look at Austin's character. Also, her character. But I want to see Austin's character. Where's it at here? Because I don't know if he actually shaved his head or if it is a bald suit. I'm not finding it right now. And I want to scroll through here, but I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike here for actually showing video footage. There he is. Like just the first thing I ever saw him in was the Chronicles of the Shannara Chronicles, which was not that good of a show. It was fun to watch because I love the Shannara Chronicles, the books by Terry Brooks. But the series was just a horrible hot mess of MTV trying to create a modern pop music like cast of young 20 somethings who were all starving themselves and wearing tons of makeup and having impossible beauty standards and never having an inch of, no speck of dirt on them whatsoever. But he did a good job as the main character. But then since then, he's really developed as an actor. Obviously, he's getting great praise for his Elvis impersonation recently, but um, also what he did with Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That role was, even though it was a smaller role, he brought a lot to that table. So I'm really looking forward to what he's doing here. But we've got so much going on here. They got a great knife fight taking place here. But here's the big one. It's the thumper. We're going to see Paul ride a sandworm, and they tease it. They don't ever actually show it completely in this trailer, but we do get a tease of him, and Javier Bardem is back, of course, as Stigwell. And not Stigwell. Is it Stigwell? I always forget. Forget. Um, anyway, it's not Stigwell. It's I forget the name of the character. Anyway, Paul's character riding a worm. It's pretty awesome. Um, they don't actually show the full shot in the trailer, but it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. And then from here, just I think that everything is going to be about the raising of this army, and of course, there's going to be the end fight, and of course, there's all the things going on with the emperor and everything else. Now, I've heard, and I don't know if this is the case. I've heard rumors that they might attempt to turn this into 3 films. I don't know if that's actually true. Those are the rumors I've heard. I've heard rumors that the second film is not the end. It's actually just the middle part, and then they're going to be filming. And I don't even know that it says here in the trailer description if this is the. It doesn't say its conclusion. It says the big screen epic continues the adaptation of Frank Herbert's best selling novel, Dune. So I don't know if this is actually going to be the end or not. They may film it in such a way that it has an ending, but then if the numbers are where they want them, they may give it a part 3. I don't know. All I know is that I'm super excited to be super excited for this. Looking forward to it. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Till next time, stay safe, everybody. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon.